but it's fun. Playing football, is fun to begin with, but when you're out there, kicking butt and scoring all those points, it makes it even more fun. So, you just see it in his game, you see it in Jay Lang's game. I think it's kind of contagious with how it's going, with him and Jeremy and the other wideouts and me, and then got Damian and Tyler in there scoring, having fun. So I feel like it's kind of contagious, and I feel like everyone, even the linemen, are just kind of feeling that fun feeling.
Does that feel different maybe even in the end of last year?
What's up?
That don't work. I can barely talk right now. But last year,
you had a tooth pull or something?
5 of them drilled themselves.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm
Go home, Solari.
I'm numb right now.
What are you doing here?
You have a sick day today? You're at work?
Does this hurt? Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. Believe me, it wouldn't hurt right now.
I'm joking. Go ahead.
But compared to like the end of last year, is it more fun? It's different. How much different?
Yeah, I think
that was my favorite part.
Well, it's like last year. The games were super close, and you're not like you have fun in those kind of games, but you're more focused. I feel, playing against Eastern Michigan, playing against Jacksonville State, and playing against Wyoming when you're beating teams that bad. I think it kind of allows you to not lose focus, but get comfortable. And I feel like last year when you're in tight games like the Rose Bowl and you're in tight games like the Big Ten Championship game, it's obviously fun after you win, but when you're playing, you're 100% focused. You're all in. Like for me, I guess some guys are different. Some guys will be loose and crack jokes, but on the sideline, if it's a tight game, if we're up by, even 10 points or 2 scores, I'm still laser focused. I don't want to mess around. I don't want to joke around. So I feel like when, this year when we're playing the other teams, like Wyoming stuff, and we're up like that, you can have more fun because, once it reaches the fourth quarter, you're pretty much going to win. But I feel like, it is a little bit different than last year, but, I think we're still going to try and have fun against Nebraska. Obviously, extremely focused. We know it's going to be a hard task, and that's that.
It's got to be different than last year because you were grinding in these early games. You were fighting for a job, so it's probably nice to just be able to not have to grind for 12, 13, 14 games and, get your numbers and kind of go take a seat, right?
Yeah. I really don't know how to answer that.
I'm just saying, does it take less of a toll on you because last year it was such a grind, especially early on, to establish yourself as the quarterback, but now you can say, you know what, I've got the job and I can grow from there.
Yeah, it was pretty stressful last year, but being in the position I'm in now, it's a lot easier. Beating teams like the way we did and just everyone being in sync, with having that chemistry that we had last year carry over into this year. So,
how much of the excitement with this game has to do with the fact that you guys are getting your title defense in the conference?
Yeah, I know one of the coaches was talking earlier. Obviously we're defending a title, but I feel like, we're more so trying to get another title as opposed to defending it. I think we won the Big Ten last year. We have that, whatever. And I think we're trying to go out and get another one, so we're not trying to defend anything. I think it's up for grabs, and we're really trying to go for it. So, it's going to be competitive. It's going to be a great atmosphere. And Nebraska's trying to take some away from us, and we don't want that. So we know it's going to be a great challenge. It's a great opponent in Nebraska, but we're excited for it. It's going to be a big-time game. And what more could you want to play out, in Spartan Stadium? First Big Ten game against, Nebraska, one of the top teams in the Big Ten, under the lights. And then you got, Kirk Herbstreit coming to town with Chris Fowler. So I think it could get any better.
Is there any impact whatsoever of you not getting as much work as you could have in these first 4 games? I mean, would you wish you had more work, or is that almost a blessing that you haven't had as much work as you could have?
I think you always, want to get as much work as possible, to be ready. Who knows, if I was in there, would I have taken more hits?
Right.
If not, I feel, really fresh. Body feels good. So maybe that's a plus, but, obviously on the downside, not getting as many reps, maybe not being as conditioned as I should be, playing these games going in the first Big Ten game. But, can't look back. Only thing that I can focus on is just the reps that I get in practice and the reps that I'll be getting, this Saturday. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be playing the whole game. I don't think we're going to blow out Nebraska. I think it's going to be a tight game. They're a really, really good team. So I'm just, taking it day by day and just maybe get some extra running, extra conditioning in this week just so I'm ready to go.
And you have the Oregon game to fall back on.
Yeah.
They must be comparable talent-wise, probably not scheme-wise, but as far that's the same ball.
Right. Yeah. Oregon's a good team. Nebraska's a good team. Both have great defensive lines. just got to get in the film room, break it down, and know what their schemes are and what they're trying to do.
Connor, what is so special about Spartan Stadium that night?
Probably the go green, go white chants. I feel like that's the loudest. I mean, when you play in Spartan Stadium at night, it's way louder than it is during the day, I think. And nothing, when I think of a Spartan Stadium night game, I think of the one where we beat Wisconsin in 2011, and that's the loudest I've ever heard it. And I just remember hearing the go green, go white chant, and it was like third quarter, fourth quarter, something, and it was just loud as heck. So that's what I think of when I think of Spartan Stadium night games.
Is that like stereo? Because it goes from one side to the other. What the site says go green.
Yeah, it's just like an echo. I don't know. I think the student section, yells it out, and then the whole stadium yells it out. But they're special because we really don't have many. I think now we're getting into the point where like you have one like once a year, maybe twice a year or something like that. But I know when I came up in 2010 for my second time coming up here, we played Notre Dame. That's when basically the game-winning touchdown pass. But I think that was like the 6th or 7th night game, or into the 9th maybe night game in Spartan Stadium history. So I think they're just you take it. You don't want to take it for granted. And you got to be thankful for when you have the opportunities.
You get high school flashbacks?
Nah, not really. I mean, that was so long ago. Can't really remember back to high school.
Stadium's a little bigger.
How are you?
It's a little bit more people.
How are you dealing with all the hype? Some people are considering this a game, where you guys have to win if you want to keep your college football playoff, hopes alive, and they're saying Nebraska, the winner kind of catapults himself up there. How are you dealing with the hype, though, with this game being so big?
You just got to tune everything out. Tune, what people are saying out in the media, what people are saying on TV, this and that, people on Twitter, and you just got to focus on what you can control, and that's, me coming out here working hard in practice, us coming out here working hard in practice, watching as much film as possible, and just, treating it just like any other game.